Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Plat. I believe we're looking at pretty low Plat Anna. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what raids look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, things like that. Yeah. Okay, so let's see how our Anna is going to do here.
5, 4, 3,
Hey, Carolina.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Forward, my friends!
Enemy contact.
I've seen. You're
Okay.
going to live.
So you're running Anna. You do have a Genji as well as a Reinhardt and Zarya here. Sure, and Mercy is your support partner. Let's go like this real quick and take a quick look at your rollout here. Wait.
Defend objective A.
That's a lot of time to be behind the bus here. Like, you sort of had to follow this way because you were a little late getting out. You can be here for a moment, but you do need to then peek here so that you're ready to heal your Reinhardt. Him taking damage here would not at all be weird. Another Reinhardt being here to swing into him would not at all be weird. You're a little past the level at which Reinhardt's default to that, because they now are smart enough to worry about widows and such up here, usually, but it still wouldn't be weird.
I've seen. You're going to live.
And now you're trying to play a game of catch up. Just press X there. You could heal from behind the statue and press X and make more heal you. You could do it. Okay. Probably not going to heal here. Probably going to decide that this fight is real at this point. You are at 7 shots left in your clip, and that's not a full clip, I agree, but it is more than half of a clip, and we're probably going to play that out now that your Doomfist is in, your team is clearly pushing. Like, if your Doomfist was still chilling up here, sure, you could hit a reload so that you wouldn't get stuck with a reload in the middle of the fight, but their Widow's already been eliminated, your Doomfist is in. We're not going to just do this and be locked out as things are happening here. Like, oh, I might have been like to be able to get the extra heal on my Reinhardt here before this happens. I might have liked to be able to cap off my Genji up there. Not a big deal, but that didn't really make sense as a reload. Hey, Crunch! Absolutely watch your gang roll up. Play left. Now play right. Okay. Know where your cover's gonna be. Box cat. Bee scarf. Yeah, it's the bee scarf. I don't know that I've seen a bee with this much green before, but hey, it works for me.
Objective A captured. Escort.
Maybe I'm gonna sting this player's play. I don't know.
I've seen. You're going to live. Help me.
I think he just named it just now up based off its colors. So this is really a green and yellow, and I don't see very many green bees, but works for me. Why? So here you are, you're pushing up, you're deciding that you want to peek that. A little scary against the poke cup. And they do have a poke cup there. We don't really want to, like, poke them and try to trade stuff with them. They have Soldier, McCree, Zen, Hog, Orisa. Like, oh, that's a lot of poke. You guys have Genji, Doomfist, Reinhardt, Zara. You guys basically want no poke to exchange until your Reinhardt has found the shortest distance he can with cover to allow him to close and run at the enemy. That's basically what you want right now. Every time you go, oh, hey, I'm going to get cute, and go like this. This is okay potentially while they're retreating. But every time you go, I'm going to get cute and try to take shots over here, this sort of thing, like, they're more likely to get a pick on you than vice versa. And it's not really close. Like, it's really not very close. They're poke power is a lot higher than yours. So we really just want to opt out of the poke battle as much as we can. Now, obviously, if like their team is over here and there's a soldier up there and you guys are here, absolutely poke out the soldier. But you don't want to go fishing too much against this team just because of your two compositions. Your composition is a K, recharge resources, get full shield, get full health, and go, 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 go. That's what we want to happen. Now, we can't claim it'll happen perfectly because this is ladder. Fine. And Doomfist going in is the same as your Reinhardt going in terms of that's your explosive start.
My ultimate is ready.
Once the explosive start happens, you absolutely open your angle and contribute. Okay. Are we just gonna back out? No. These are some jumpies.
I will keep you real.
What's okay? Playing that corner. Jumping is not helping you here. It just makes your arc more predictable. If you're going to turn some of these jumps into quick scopes, it can make sense. But every time you jump, your down arc is pretty darn predictable. And they go, oh, I'm going to hit a headshot right here. Oh, I'm going to track your body the whole way down. Like, it's not that hard for them. You make your movement much more predictable because you have less directional control over it than you would if you're on the ground. Where you could go left, you could go right, you could stay still. Like, that actually is more directional control than you really have in the air. But that's okay. Let's see if you do better.
Get back in the fight.
Just slow. I want to heal Reinhardt. Yep.
Get back in
Boom.
the fight.
And now I want to pivot over and heal Zarya. Zarya's still got 3/4 health. Reinhardt has a shield and has cover. Reinhardt's not in danger anymore. Why am I healing Reinhardt? Why are you both healing Reinhardt? You're poor Zarya. Leave, leave.
Taking damage.
Sunflower scarf. Ah. That works. Cameras are weird. Yeah, I can see that. Grass and bees go together. You have a dark blue shirt and it looks light violet in camera. Yeah, cameras can definitely be weird. Probably not even then, Crunch. Because sadly, the game doesn't give you Goomba Stomp damage unless you're Doomfist doing a slam right here. So, like, why did this not get support? I guess you were reloading before he went in. But I don't really want to drift right here. Like, are you drifting right to open this angle sooner? I don't want to open this angle. I want to be able to contribute over here. I want to be able to, like, Doomfist is in. Now I want this angle open either to heal him or to shoot at the opposing team. And you're like, nah, I'm going to hang out over here. What? What? Why was the angle closed? There was actually a small window to save him if you'd been standing in the correct spot.
Take your medicine.
My ultimate is ready.
Okay, are you going to drift left? Like, you know that these guys are here and just beat your Doomfist. You don't maybe know exactly who they are, but you know they just beat your Doomfist. So you have to be thinking, how do I get safety? I can't tuck back here. This can't be my cover against this team, so this is going to have to be my cover against this team. Because that way, at least my team is a little bit of a wall, or I can tuck in here. You know, like, I can heal my team from here. I can shoot them through my team. My team is a bit of a wall for me, and this is my cover against this. I don't know why you're still here. You knew this was coming.
That's much better. Watching your back.
There's the jumping. Again, the jumping only really makes sense if you're going to quick scope during it.
My team still needs me.
Moving the payload, and nothing's going to stop it.
Okay.
Group up at my position.
Maybe our repeatedly taking 5v6s will come to an end now.
I'm in A. This will help.
I mean, yeah, we were in the middle of the lane.
Someone get that payload moving.
But maybe now we'll actually set up with 6 people. So, like, this was always going to be, he was probably going to be eliminated. He probably was. Yeah, that was just too fast for him to get healed, even if your crosshair had been resting right on him. But why wasn't your crosshair resting right on him? Why wasn't there a heal dart halfway between you and him in this frame? You knew he was here. What he was doing was very predictable. If it was because, oh, no, it's because I was scoping this out or I was taking a quick peek over here to make sure a flanker wasn't showing up, okay, that's okay. I'd be okay. That was a valid thing that you were doing.
Someone get that payload moving.
What's this? You're checking on your team, and now what are you doing? Now you're AFKing. Are you checking your phone? Are you typing at the other team? What are you doing? Maybe you're typing at your team to regroup. I don't care. I don't care. Typing is being AFK. You say it in voice comms, or it doesn't get said at all. And if you're like, no, I don't want to be in voice comms are toxic, or not everyone is in voice comms, then they're not reachable. Or you're choosing not to reachable. And that's fine. I have no issue with that whatsoever. But don't bother typing. Don't bother typing. It is the same as you being AFK. It really is. And it causes things like this to happen where, okay, you could already be firing a dart because you saw he took damage. And he'd still get eliminated because it wouldn't travel fast enough. But in some cases, he wouldn't have. You're just AFK again. Are you just typing at him for like, you shouldn't have done that and got picked off? Because you've been trying the same thing. You've been trying to take shots at the team when they outnumber you all game. Now, I don't know that that's what you're doing, but like, I can see this clearly here. This is you being AFK. Your crosshair shouldn't just naturally rest there. Your crosshair could be aimed at the person in front who you're worried is going to take damage. It could be aimed at Mercy in case you think someone's going to try to show up through a window, burst her down, show up through here, burst her down while she's rezzing. It could be aimed at the lead person who would have been, well, right now Mercy, but previously Zarya. So in case you thought Zarya was most likely to take damage, like you could have had your crosshair pre-aimed at people. But this is nothing. Oh, now you're playing the game again. Okay. Sure. Why are you drifting so hard right?
Take your medicine.
Okay, fine.
You're powered up. Get in there.
I don't know what's around that corner. Like, is he telling you that he's got good targets? If he's shouting nano me, that's fine. You can nano him. But if that's not what's going on, I don't really like this nano. You don't know how close he is to the targets. There's an Orisa shooting at him. You have indicators on your screen of that. You don't have these wall hacks that we do. You can currently see the McCree through there. But that's it. You can't see the Orisa or the Roadhog. You don't know how close or far they are. And it's an Orisa. Like, she wants to be far from your Reinhardt. I'm not really convinced I want your Reinhardt nanoed quite yet. The only thing... Like, maybe you're thinking I'm going to nano my Reinhardt because I see this McCree is going to cut me off and I don't want to push in and get flash fanned by the McCree or flash headshot by the McCree. So, like, I need my Reinhardt to have a little more durability because we're about to get separated. Maybe that's what's going on, or maybe you're responding to a call. But overall, I don't love this nano because I don't actually know if he's going to be able to reach the opponents. And don't go, oh, but I'm going to nano him because he's shattering. I don't care. I don't care that he's shattering. We don't need shatter to do 50% more damage. Shatter is not used for its damage. Shatter is used for its CC, during which your Rhine will do damage. And if that's what's going on, well, we might want to nano him after the shatter, when he's fire striking, swinging, maybe even after we know if he's hit people or not. You can see clear nano sadness on Temporal's face right now. Right? Right? Nano sadness? Yeah, there we go. It's 50% stronger. Nanos your emotions to make us why you're even fighting. What? You're kidding, right?
Take your medicine. You're powered up. Get in
Whether
there.
I agree with this nano or not, you used it. Whether I agree with this nano or not, you used it. But you knew that this McCree is right here. You have a sonic arrow here that's telling you that this McCree is right here. If you're walking by this, your crosshair is on this doorway the whole frigging time. Your Reinhardt has reduced damage taken right now. You think it's safe enough to reload. I don't know why you think it's safe enough to reload. Your Reinhardt is missing health, and discorded. He's probably getting some of that back. No, he's probably actually already got his nano heal back. The McCree is right here, and you know it. He's probably going to flash you. So you want to be walking out far from the doorway because you want flashing you to be challenging. You want flash to be out of range and sleep to be in range. And you want to be walking through here already facing like this. And if you get by and then can then heal Reinhardt, so be it. Can then get over here, so be it. But really, if you're pushing this aggressively, your plan is to sleep this McCree. I'm not walking through this. Okay, fine, fine. Why is my crosshair over here? Why is my crosshair over here? Why is my crosshair not already right here and me just go, sleep? And if he dodges the sleep, if he forces his way back behind cover because he reacts to me, that's good on him. Fine. I got no problem with that. If I instead go, no, I'm worried about him dodging back, so I'm gonna nade right here instead, and even if he dodges out, it's gonna hit him. Fine. That's totally fine with me. And then maybe as he cowers, you push him and try to sleep him. Or maybe you just use the opening the nade created to walk by and hope that the next person on your team will deal with him. Maybe your own Hanzo will deal with him being purpled and infacited by the Sonic Arrow. But your crosshair can't be over here. It can't. It can't. Like, you knew that this was right here. You knew you were walking by it. Congrats, you counted on him to miss his shot. Why are you chasing him now? Why are you chasing him now? You're already past.
I have your back.
My servants never die.
Temporal, you're so silly, it's a flashbang. If she doesn't look at the Kree, he can't flashbang her. Oh, how silly of me not to realize that. Yes, sadly not how it works. Check left, check left. Okay.
I remember this feeling.
I'm a little hesitant to use both cooldowns on Hog before I've seen him use either. Totally fine with you using either one of these cooldowns. That's good. Using one of the cooldowns, mess him up, either stop him from getting away or turn him purple, make him a team focus target. Either one of those are fine with me. Probably not going to want to use both because both of your cooldowns work pretty well to mess up his cooldowns. And I don't know, does he have Breather left? This is sort of preventing Breather, but does he have Hook left? Is he going to survive this and Breather afterwards? I'd like to have one cooldown available to mess up. Either he hooks someone in, like a Zarya, for example, and you throw the nade at him, which heals back up your Zarya and turns him purple and makes him unhappy when the hook result, or you go, oh, he hooks someone and you sleep him, or he breathers and you cancel his breather with sleep, or he breathers and you make his breather much less valuable by purpling him. Like, I'd like to save one. I also generally, as Anna, don't want to do this. I don't want to use one cooldown, put it on its full 10-second cooldown, and then immediately put the other on its full cooldown. So this right here is like a beacon, shining beacon to the world.
Feeling sleepy?
We are now vulnerable as Anna. Shining beacon to the world when you use both of your abilities, just boom, boom like that you're now vulnerable to the world. If it happens against a flanker when you're already caught in a duel to the death, sure, so be it. But when you're using them offensively like this, you better be sure that you're winning or have won the fight, because who's going to show up to take advantage of you now? Now, in this case, maybe it's okay. Maybe you've correctly decided no one on the enemy team is likely to show up to force me because that's not a flanker, that's not a flanker, that's not a flanker, this probably isn't a flanker, and this could be a flanker but can't be a flanker right now. So I'm safe to use both cooldowns in a row. Maybe that's what you've decided, in which case this is fine. But in general, be careful about this double cooldown thing, because it will make tracers just show up like mushrooms on a lawn, just appear out of nowhere to deal with you. Like, that's just how it works.
I remember this feeling.
Was if you even give yourself like 4 seconds of distance between using the two cooldowns, it becomes a lot less obvious what your cooldown status is. That said, if you see a good enough opportunity to use a cooldown, I'm not saying don't use the cooldown, but again, you didn't get a ton more by stacking both cooldowns there. If it had been like, I'm nading Hog because he's using Take a Breather to stop that, and then McCree is high nooning to the left and I'm instantly sleeping that, you wouldn't have heard a word from me. Do one-eyed people drink tea? Do I like tea? I like tea. I like tea just fine. Tech. Did Creed run by, or is he still behind the team? I think Hanzo got him in the end. In that last place. Right now he's back here, but I think at the place that you were talking about back when he was here is I think our Hanzo maybe shot him in the foot and got him as he was retreating up here. I don't remember anymore. Draws arrow to Kree with Deadeye. That's not a flanker. That's just wrong, Temporal. That's only a flanker. Even if the tanks lose 3 fights and 2 checkpoints, they're flanking. Well, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I suppose if I'm gonna say Zen is sometimes a flanker and Hog can be a flanker, that yes, I should include the high nooning McCree as a flanker. That said, we weren't at the best spot on the map for it. Could he have done it from here? Sure. Could he have done it from here? Yes. But like the type of flanker that you defend yourself, like how do I want to put this? Nade is less useful for defending yourself against a flanking high noon. Sleep is great for it, but that's a little different, you know? Like, I'm more thinking about the flankers that actually get in close to you, because the ones that get in close to you, both of her cooldowns are good defenses against. But that's fair.
The payload has reached the check. Get back in. The payload.
Ryan is just as terrifying as a flanker. Hello Train comes in wiping your team. Sure. But we have to think of likelihood of certain abilities. Like, they, don't have a Ryan on their team. Oh, you're saying terrifying when he's being a flanker. Yeah, I don't know that pin is his best move when he's being a flanker, though I suppose it can be. But him pushing off angles, even by himself, like, he can clear this stuff. Like, we've had this discussion before of, like, oh, look, a Reinhardt is pushing up back here, and your Genji goes, wait, what? You know, like, there's a Rein pushing here? Okay, I guess I'm going to leave, because Reinhardt just walks forward, and he's Rectangle Man, and he does a good job of taking flanks from opponents. But anyway, back to our Ana review. Most Ryans are flakers. Okay. Ryan dance train.
I could use some assistance.
Okay. I don't really love the sleep at people who are holding their corners particularly well. So this is something I'd like you to do better. Hold your corners. But if you look at this Hog, like, yeah, you could go for a sleep right now. That's not terrible. But you see how he is playing? By the time you get your sleep off, he's totally gone. But you see how he was playing like this the whole time? He wasn't like out here where he's an easy sleep and doesn't have anywhere to go. He was playing here where he always had the option to close the angle on the wall. This is something you should do, by the way. Play here where you have the option to close on the wall. Here where you have the option to close on the wall. Here where you have the option to close on the cart. We want you to do that. When he's doing it, when he hasn't gotten aggressive to go for a hook, it's going to be hard to get sleeps on him. To the point of if he hits someone with a hook, or if he throws his hook, you can sleep him then, because he's kind of rooted when he throws in his hook. He's rooted while he's reeling someone in. But if he's just like this, throwing right clicks from here, not really worth the sleep, because it's pretty darn easy for him to dodge it. You can take a shot at him. You can take multiple shots at him. You can throw a nade at him if you hook someone in, throw a sleep at him if you hook someone in. But if he's standing well using this like this, we're probably not going to spend our sleep on him.
I could use some assistance.
Okay, are you gonna... You can't nade that. Technically, we should have adjusted our crosshair when we got halted, because we knew where we were going to get halted. Okay.
This is going to hurt.
I'm not at all interested in the offensive shots here. Like, I'm looking at this. Your Reinhardt shield is broken. I can live with this nade, though I'm probably actually going for a defensive nade here on my Rein. Sure would have been nice to have my sleep available here. And my follow-up shots are definitely not on Hog. They're on Reinhardt. You're trying. Okay. I feel bad distracting Temporal from review, but also enjoy it at the same time. It's all good, Carolina. That's what we're doing here. You know, we're streaming. There's going to be some entertainment. If it gets too distracting or too much, I'll just ignore you guys for a bit. I've certainly done it before.
Nanoboot is ready to deploy. Let's keep it moving.
Okay. So where's your cover? Are you playing here? Is this your cover? Was this your cover? Are you rotating because this is about to be your cover? If that's what's going on, I'll deal with it. Doesn't look like it. Looks like you wanted to play in the middle of the street and Arissa's punishing you for it.
You're powered
Oh,
up.
you're still in
Get
the middle of the street.
I'm under attack.
Mm-hmm. Again, if you don't really see, like, I know you're scared because he could have hooked you and there's nothing you could do about it because you had no cover. But if you don't see him throw his hook, it's going to be really hard to get a sleep on him when he's playing appropriately with cover here. As soon as he takes a step in to go do something, sure. But when he's playing appropriately around a cover option, you're going to have a tough time sleeping him.
Correct.
This is not an accuracy issue with sleeps. Like, I'm not saying that, I know you said, oh, you're missing some sleeps, etc. Like,
You're powered up.
yes, better accuracy would help. Don't get me wrong.
You're powered up. Get in there.
But if we look at this, we'll slow it down. You should have aimed this sleep further to the left, not at the middle, because his retreat path was always going to be to the left. So your sleep should have been like here or, you know, here, whatever. That's where your sleep should be. But this isn't really an accuracy issue because let's put our sleep here instead. And let's see what would have happened if we'd put our sleep there instead. We actually might have gotten him. Yeah, if we'd aimed the sleep appropriately over here where he was going to retreat to, we might actually have gotten him. He was already leaving, so he wasn't going to keep being a threat anymore, but that could have been good. So if you are going to take your sleeps at doorways here, please do it where they're going to retreat. He can't retreat this way. This is a wall. So he was always going to try to dodge shots, dodge your sleep this way, and that means you don't aim it where he is, you aim it where he's going. So your sleep is a projectile, just like your hip fire is a projectile. Your scope shots are hit scan.
Correct.
Okay.
This is not the end. Where does it
40-minute tangent on crime law majors, it's all good. Yeah, we've had some good ones like that. YS sent us on a pretty long tangent about dating. Well, excuse me, study buddies, not dating. Because there was a strong stance there about not dating someone older, but... which we laughed at, as is our job. And the Soldier Diet review, yep.
I have your back. Why is the payload stopped?
the battle continues?
Get back in the fight.
Here you are. You're just in the middle of the lane. There's a Kree right there. And you decide that you want to throw a nade? Is this supposed to be for your Zarya? Is this supposed to be offensive? I hate the idea of an offensive nade this way right now when, like, you don't have cover, and you can't have cover until this McCree is forced back. So, like, if we were going to spend offensive power, it would have probably been on this Kree. Maybe this was supposed to be a nade to help you heal your Zarya. I wasn't too worried about healing your Zarya. If you just keep your crosshair on your Zarya, you could heal her here. So I'm not sure what's up with this nade.
Get back in the fight.
Cool. Now drift. Use the cover. Use the cover. This right here is your cover. You can take shots here. You can get a little more aggressive to send a sleep or a nade through here. Take an offensive shot through or whatever. And then go back to your standard playing here. That's what we're going to see. No. Why are you here? Why? Like... Fine. She had Fortify. She had Fortify. There's no reason this had to work. She should have used Fortify. Using Fortify would have been perfectly appropriate at this moment in time. It wouldn't have been like, I traded my sleep for her Fortify. No, this would be a perfectly appropriate time for her to use Fortify. Okay. Arissa's generally not a very good sleep target, to be perfectly honest. You don't know if she's going to deploy a barrier. You don't know if she's going to fortify. Both of those things stop your sleep.
Heal up.
Obviously, you can know if her barrier is on cooldown. You can know if her fortifier on cooldown, but you're tracking both of those things. Like, if you don't know the answer, she's just not a great sleep target. Hog's a much better sleep target. Yep, fortify, stop, sleep. Any fat anti-airs? We're trying, we're trying.
Need healing.
Haven't seen any amazing ones. Why? Why are we reloading with 11 ammo left? Why are we doing that? I would so much rather look for an offensive shot through here, for example. Now, they have Transcendence going, and you're not going to necessarily get value out of an offensive shot, but why are we reloading at 11 shots? I think it is more likely that someone will take damage here than I want to heal than that one shot that we're reloading is going to punish you.
Nice.
Why are we jumping? Yeah, that's a barrier. That was always going to be a barrier. You don't get nades off by just being like, oh, I'm going to pray and hope. You take angles. Oh, let me get an angle. Now I can get a nade on these people behind the barrier. Is that likely to lead to an elimination? Probably not. It's actually not the best nade in the world. But it's probably at least going to cause them to go to cover a bit, play more defensively. And that's good. That helps your team win the frontline battle. And then, so they don't shoot back, you pivot back to here, where they can't see you. I know it's scary to play where I'm suggesting against a team with an Orisa that has halts, especially when they have Orisa Roadhog. I get it. I don't actually mind if you play back here instead. But I want you to actually play back here, where you have cover options, if that's what you're doing. I don't want you playing here, where you don't really control the cover. Oh, there's the sleep into the fortify. Doesn't do anything. What? You have 10 shots. Your Mercy would love you to try to heal her right now. Like, if you could just try for one heal shot. If you don't hit her with it, she'll either get eliminated by the Discord or her self-healing will pop her back up. But one heal shot on her right now would be much appreciated.
This is 60 seconds.
That one heal shot would have made a difference. Now you could potentially sleep him. He's hooking, so he's rooted. He's out of the doorway, so he doesn't have that easy retreat. If you were to sleep him, you'd try to sleep the right side of his body, because if he's going to retreat, it's going to be back towards the doorway, or if you're slow or anything like that, so you'd be trying to aim a little to the right, not off his body to the right, but just a little to the right, so that if he walks away, you still end up catching the left side of his body. But you don't catch it there, you catch it here. And if he doesn't move, you still catch him with the sleep.
This will only hurt.
I know you didn't have the sleep there, but I wanted to talk through the concept.
You're covered.
Fortify stops LCC. Yeah. Okay. We're jumping. We're jumping. We're Okay, we're not jumping. We're just choosing not to dodge appropriately. Like, this dragon is pretty predictable. Are you going to go left or right? You can't just go back. You can't do this. You're way too slow to be going this way. You had to just swing yourself over here and use the card as cover, or even better, swing yourself into here and play from here for a bit. Nope. Nope. You're feeding. You're feeding. You fed the dragon.
I wasn't cut out for retirement anyway. I have your back.
Remember when I said their team was better than poke at yours? To be fair, your team has increased its poke ability quite a bit. But your team wasn't there for that. Okay? Really? You're going to send your sleep into the grav when you don't know where the high noon is? You're going to send your sleep into the grav? Like, because now the high noon's trigger has been pulled, but this was pulled before we pulled our sleep dart trigger. Like, I don't think so. I don't know why your crosshair went there.
We need
What
to
what
move
is
the
that?
payload.
Do you think McCree's over there?
We need to move the payload.
No, you're doing voice commands. And as you're doing voice chat command things, as you're doing chat commands, you are losing track there. That's not better. Like, that's not really better. It's a little bit better than typing, yeah, but, like, this is the middle of combat. If you don't touch, you lose. Your Reinhardt just has to push. I see. Okay, I can live with it. Mercy's gonna try. I believe Mercy. Mercy, you let us down. Mercy, you let us down. It was totally your job to touch the I'm kidding. Okay. Okay, so we don't seem to like cover as much as we should. We're not thinking about our cover actively enough, and we also have to think more about where people are going to retreat to when we pull out the sleep dart. Like, it is a projectile. We have to think, where are they going? Or where is even the threat of us sleeping them going to cause them to retreat to? And can we sleep them if they have cover? Probably not. Okay, let's continue here. And then there's some AFK-ness, some not amazing pre-crosshair placement, a couple things like that. But let's see what we hone in on in the second round here, in the defensive round for Anna. Nom nom Hanzo dragons. I mean, if you're Diva and you eat them before the dragon spawns, sure, nom nom.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Chat commands don't move you in game. Well, it didn't move them in game, but I'm pretty sure she didn't readjust her aim because, like, she had her aim in a weird place because she was probably hitting the chat command button. You know, she was holding up and then swinging her mouse in a direction, and that's why she was effectively looking at something weird for just not even more than an instant, but less than a second, maybe a second. But no, I'm not saying that those moved her. Okay, so we were a touch late on our rotation, but we're here. To be fair, so was our Ashe.
Watching your back.
I can live with it. You're not going to find a better use for your nade. You still have your sleep. Now you could use a sleep if you see an option. Yeah, so that would have been the option right there. Okay, you're reloading. You're covering for the reload. I like it. And now your reload is complete, and I'd actually already like you to have reopened this angle and potentially be ready to sleep dart. Because A, I hear that hook. You know what I bet is going to happen? I bet this Reinhardt is going to want to swing at this person that got hooked in. So I bet if you sleep right now, you'll actually get the Roadhog and help your Zarya get out. Oh, so predictable. So predictable.
I will keep you here.
And hey, was that sleep more valuable than a heal on your Genji that was sort of back, sort of out of the fight? Yeah, it was. I don't know why you closed the angle there.
I will keep you healed.
I also don't know why you thought you're gonna, like, yeah, the orb's annoying, but the orb's not gonna do 60 damage. The Zarya's in more danger. If you weren't gonna get the sleep, the heal on your Zarya, who was gonna get hooked in and swung at and probably shot at by other people, was probably more important. It's probably more important than the heal on your, definitely more important than a second heal on your Genji there. And now you're closing the angle. You did just take damage. Okay, fine. Peek and nade? No. Gonna nade yourself so you can stay peeked. I can live with that. Little hopeful. It's not terrible though.
You're going to.
Okay. Sure. There it is.
This will only hurt.
Okay, let's swap over to Ashe. Just reload or heal the front line. There you go. Tucking behind our cover. I'd have liked us to be tighter on our cover to start, but okay.
Helden sterben nicht.
It's kind of early, but okay.
ده هيكون مؤلم.
You really want to hit Hog with the nades when he goes for those hooks. Like, you want to be hitting him in the sense of, oh, is he pulling someone back? This nade, if he had hit someone, would have still gotten just him. And I'd actually like it to get him and the person he hooked. But that's okay. I'm getting nitpicky. We're getting
ده
micro
هيكون
into text
مؤلم.
here. Whereas that is just a little... Like, I don't see a good reason for Ryan Shield to be down here. So when it comes to predicting Ryan Shields, we're going to be working on your sleeps, clearly. When it comes to predicting Ryan Shields, I predicted that a Ryan Shield would be down earlier because I just understand that the Reinhardt is going to want to swing, is going to want to contribute his damage to the person that gets hooked in. So that was easy for me to predict. Likewise, I can predict that this Reinhardt isn't ready to lower his shield yet. And if he is going to lower his shield, it's going to be to counterpin. And, like, yeah, I could, I suppose, go, hey, I'm going to hit this sleep that's going to hit him when he's lowered his shield to pin, but before my Reinhardt hits him, and therefore my Reinhardt is going to pin him instead of them both falling down. I don't actually think your sleep can make it in time. Like, I don't think your sleep can make it in time if that's what's going to happen. So I instead look at this and go... Okay, so I'm either going to sleep a Reinhardt that's already been knocked down, which I'm not aiming low enough for, and honestly, I'd rather hit it when he's already been knocked down. I'd rather start it when he's already been knocked down when that's the case. Or this pin is going to miss in some way, and if that's the case, like this Reinhardt, well, we'll just take our look. Here, Like, I didn't really expect this Reinhardt to swing right now. When you started this sleep, here, I'll slow it down just to show you.
ده هيكون مؤلم.
Like, I don't even know if you're factoring in your Reinhardt charging, because this happened pretty fast, but, like, when you reach for this button, I guess maybe, but there's no way. There's no way when you reach for this button. If these Reinhardts pin, there's no way that you're hitting the opposing Reinhardt in time for your Reinhardt to pin this Reinhardt. Your extra stun on top of the double Reinhardt stun if they pin each other is going to be wrong for this. Like, it's not, the timing isn't going to be good on it. He's going to be on the ground. It's going to go right over him. And if your Reinhardt goes past him, maybe this Reinhardt is going to swing into your Reinhardt. But if that's the case, your Reinhardt is going to pass on this side, and this Reinhardt is going to step this way and swing, or at least swing this way. So I don't want my crosshair for sleep over here. I'd want it over here if I thought he was going to swing. I don't think this Reinhardt is going to swing. Like, I think if we were looking at this, the time to sleep would be... Reinhardt's not going to drop his shield. There's no meaningful reason to expect him to drop his shield.
ده هيكون.
He's still too far to have dropped his shield to swing at that Zarya. That was wrong. And you wouldn't expect him to drop his shield here. Let's pretend our Reinhardt isn't charging yet. You expect him to drop his shield when he gets to, like, here, just as he steps into swinging range. That's when you do it, because then he's thinking about your Reinhardt. He's going, ooh, there's a Reinhardt to swing at, etc. I want this, which is over here, not over here, so he's less likely to see you swinging. And it's right as he's entered swing range that you're going for it. He's not going to with the charge, though, there. So that's wrong.
Going to be okay. You're powered
Hi,
up.
thanks for
Get
reviewing.
in
No
there.
problem, War Tiger. Yeah, the positioning is working better on defense. Okay, so again, we look at this. And I'm not worried about you mechanically missing sleeps. That's not the problem. The problem is that you want to be properly predictive with this. So, like, this is the Hog. We would like to hit the Hog. Hog would struggle to get to where our sleep dart is. Hog is whole hogging. He's going to push people back. So that's fine. He's going to try to walk out and round the corner. So, like, I don't want my sleep dart here. I want my sleep dart just one crosshair over. I can pretty much guarantee there will be a Hog one crosshair over. And even if I go a little bit further than that and go, like, here-ish, there's almost certainly going to be a Hog here. There's almost certainly going to be a Hog here. I might catch the back half of Hog if he books it. Relative term, but I'm probably going to catch a Hog if I sleep dart right here. The only way I really don't catch a Hog is if he just waits here, and that's not going to happen. And I think you're going for the Hog here, not the Moira. If you're going for the Moira, well, that's okay, but she's going to be a harder target, and if you've got both options, I'm going to shut down the Hog, because that's higher probability. Okay. Try to heal them through it, but it's gonna be rough.
Get healed.
Don't use the nade. He was totally out of danger.
I need healing.
Good. Okay, he went down. He just went down, so you didn't really need to nade yourself, but that's okay. You had to decide if you were going to play this low health or not.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Sure. Why are we jumping? She's fine. She's missing 40 health. Ignore her. Pay attention to your front line.
Healing in hand.
Okay?
I have it.
Great. Again, you got to think about the direction that people are likely to want to go already. It's a projectile, and I guess we're doing a projectile training class here. So we think about this, and we go, hey, that is a Moira. She, in theory, has 8 directions she can go, roughly. I suppose 9 if you include jumping, but we'll call it 8 directions. The reality, though, is she's not going to be pushing forward. She's losing too hard. This rotation sucks. The only way she's going this way is if she's using Fade. And if she's using Fade, you're not going to get her with Sleep. So the only ways that she's going to go are back into Theater, which cuts off line of sight from some of your back line, or she's going to try to go just straight back to try to pull herself out of range of the Reinhardt. Okay. And she's probably not going to compromise and go like this way. She could, but compromises like that, really not good. The most likely thing that like a better player would do would, yes, probably be in break this corner like this. She might go this way because she might just be scared. So I'm good with either of these guesses. And it is a little bit of guesswork when we're using a projectile. So let's talk this through. And what does she do and where do you aim? So you decided that she was going back is what we're going to decide there. Not a totally unreasonable guess. I'd have liked us to try to adjust as we saw her adjusting, because you absolutely can.
Healing in hand.
It's one of the properties of sleep. It does have a wind up, and we can try to move it. Oh, we have a super chat coming in from Adam saying, for 199, saying, like my new profile picture temporal, tell me she's cute. Okay. So super chat coming in from Adam for 199 saying, like my new profile picture temporal, tell me she's cute. It is a good new profile picture. I don't know who or what it's from, if it's like commissioned work or if it's from something or what, but yeah, it's a nice one. It's a nice one.
I'm on fire! Everyone follow me!
I mean, I can't really get a big enough image to open that. Open image in new tab. Let's take a look. Okay, so we've blown this up a little bit. Here's Adam's profile picture. I mean, in some senses of the word, absolutely. I think it's a nice profile picture. Cute, I'm not quite sure that that's the word I'd use for it, but it's not ugly. It could certainly fit some definitions of cute. I think it's a good one. I don't watch the show. What's the show? Edda from Owl House? Okay. I don't watch the show, but she's pretty cute. I think she's adorable. Yeah, I hear you. Tool to date, it's not purple. Okay.
Taking damage. Get healed.
I require
Move up
medical
at my position.
Helden sterben nicht.
Should I keep... Okay. Should I keep in mind Dash has Bob here, right? Yeah, I mean, that's a thing that you should be aware of. You should generally be aware of ults. You're at the level where that happens. She's the typical, I'm selfish and responsible, but actually have a big heart and try to do the right thing trope going on. That can be fun. Okay, so I'm going to wind up just a little bit here because I want to see you came back. Your crosshair's on the ground for some reason, rather than pre-trained on Reinhardt, who's likely to take damage.
Just a scratch. You'll be fine.
After one shot, we're reloading. This is not a good pre-fight reload. If you wanted to pre-fight reload, like, oh, hey, no one's taking damage, I think they're going to take damage in the future, 11 isn't a great one. And the reason for that is it's more likely that combat is going to suddenly start or someone is going to get burst down and you're going to lose someone while reloading than it is that you're going to sort of need this last shot right now. Like if you pre-fight reloaded at 7, at 8, at 9 shots left in your clip, if you had that many shots left in your clip right now, one of these, and you were just like, I think everyone's healthy enough, I'm going to fit my reload in before this fight turns more serious, no problem. I totally understand why, and that makes sense. If you do it at 11, you run into this situation where you're locked out and you can't do anything unless it's cancel your reload with sleep dart. You can't do anything. You can't get a heal out right now if someone's suddenly getting burst, etc. That's not really good. You're more likely to lose someone here because of this reload than you are to get value out of this reload. I sort of hope that makes sense. So 11 ammo reloads, unless it's super quiet, don't generally make sense. Put your reloads more around here if they're pre-fight reloads. And if they're like actual reloads, we'll spend down to 1 or 0 ammo if you have to. You get more interested in hitting a reload sort of the lower you get on ammo. This isn't good. Pre-fight reloads around here, if you have 11, 10 bullets left, probably better to just keep doing what you're doing. Just based on an odds standpoint. Yeah, try never to sleep wastefully when there's an Ash if she hasn't bobbed in a fight or two. I mean, the problem with that is, like, yes, you don't want to sleep wastefully. You don't want to start reaching with your sleeps when you start worrying about, oh, there's a bob that you're ult tracking for, there's a high noon that you're ult tracking for, there's a visor that you're ult tracking for, there's a barrage that you're ult tracking for, there's a blade that you're ult tracking for. Like, those things become true, but there's still sleeps that you can take. Like, if a hog is hooking someone, you can still go, nope, that's worth my sleep, for example. You just start factoring out some of either your lower probability sleeps, or you start factoring out your sleeps that were just going to be a let me just hope to stun a tank on the front line type things. Those are the ones that you get rid of when your ult tracking tells you, oh, these things are around. If you're still going to get good enough value out of your sleep, you don't need to hold it and be like, no, I refuse to sleep anything until I see Bob. Temporal, they're going to release a mole hero, and you're going to regret telling people not to point their crosshair at the ground. I know, I'm actually training them wrong as a joke, so that they need to come back for more training or something. I got nothing. Yeah, no, it's true, Blob. That mole hero is gonna destroy everybody. Like, you have to sleep something, do it, but don't just throw it away. Right. If the enemy is running dive, I usually keep sleep for them, but I don't really know when to use sleep. Oh, Blue X here to say any gameplay. Okay, so what you're using sleep for here, we've actually gone over sleep a fair bit in this review, but I know you just got here a minute or two ago. What you're looking to do is you're looking to think, okay, is there something on the enemy team that you need to be aware of, like a flanker to show up? There's not, so you can use your cooldowns, both of them, a little more aggressively, which is good. It's good to know that. The Hog is going to require, demand, earn a fair number of your cooldowns in terms of shutting down his abilities, and that's fine. Now that we're starting to see ults come online, you are going to be a little bit more aware of these. Again, if you see a valid sleep, you'll still take it, but you're not going to do some of the, let me just try to sleep the front line for value. Let me just get a sleep in here, a stun thing that you could have for the first 30 seconds, the first minute of the game. And we talked about a few of those. What we've also talked about with your sleep is please don't sleep people who are like here, halfway behind the corner, half not. You're not going to get those people. Get those people when they expose themselves a bit more like this. But you're just using it for value. That's what you're doing. If you can shut down ults, great. If you can shut down hog plays with hooks, breather, great. If you can shut down ults, great. You got it. We'll talk about it more as we go. Temporal, which L team are you signed with teaching them to aim for the mole hero while telling the rest of us not? And Adam says Atlanta Rain. Maybe. Maybe the rivalry that neither of us actually recognize as a rivalry is actually cover. Yeah, I'd make really bad cover given that neither of us remotely recognize it as that. Is actually cover for secretly working with them to prep them for the mole hero. Okay. Adam Nicholas super chat for 199 says, "Hey, didn't legit RC banish you to coaching silvers?" Legit RC has no power in the realm of private coaching, in the realm of really contenders coaching. I don't think he has any power outside of the realm of Atlanta Reign, to be perfectly honest. And he doesn't have all the power there. Not that I've got any issue with the guy. Just taking apart Adam's theories. All right, no more interruptions. It's fine. Okay, so we go for that.
I have it.
What's it gonna be? Why are you here? Why are you here? Okay, like this was better. This was better. Why are you here in the middle? Well, we talked about that sleep already. Okay, got it. I thought that looked familiar.
I'm on fire. Everyone follow me.
Right, and you went for the sleep on the Moira, and then they bobbed back in. I'm not actually too worried about that one, because them bobbing back in was, we'll just say, odd. That was a fight that they were pretty on their heels for, and were pretty losing, and it really made more sense for them to recover. So I'm not super worried that you went for the sleep there to try to finish someone off, rather than to have it for Bob. Not the end of my world, personally.
Taking damage.
But it is going to allow them to turn, isn't it?
I require
But
medical
at my
attention.
position.
This isn't cover.
Helden sterben nicht. Go. I'll keep you here.
Okay. Did you just reload again?
Go. I'll keep you here.
I guess. Like, you can take shots at that Mercy. That's an extra shot into the Mercy that should have gone into the Genji. That's a shot into the wall that's then causing you to reload. Sure.
That has been Muslim. My servants never die. Ready to deploy.
Do you know where he is? No.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Okay.
Heal up.
Okay, now that this is broken, you need to drift right. I'm also not sure why you're reloading with 3 ammo here. Like, I'm legit not sure why you're reloading with 3 ammo here. Your Zarya could use heals, your Genji could use heals, that Ashe could use an offensive shot, and you should be drifting right, not left right now. Like, really, you didn't want to drift out here in the first place. I get why you did.
My Manifest is ready to deploy.
The barrier's there. That's annoying. There's plenty of value you can have without drifting
powered
yourself
up.
into the
Get
middle
in
of
there.
the lane, though. Like, okay, cool, we do this. Nade would be great. Nade didn't happen.
Heal up.
Now the nade makes less sense. The nade made way more sense a second ago. And if you really want to do this, you just walk up here and you do this. This barrier isn't useful anymore. It's not. You don't go here. You don't go here at all. Guess I panicked. That was dumb. It happens. It happens. We're to show you when you're being dumb so that you can see it, so that you can make improvements.
I've come back from worse.
Timberoli's a better Ana than you. He doesn't need you. You're a hater plus a bum. Legit RC destroyed you. Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
Somebody get me some healing.
I'm glad you're so interested in keeping me humble. You're not going to stay here, though, right? You're not going to stay here? You're going to back up to here to do this healing, which is every bit as good as being right here, except you are less likely to just get, picked off in the retreat, staggered, right?
Objective lost.
Why are you still here?
This will help. I will objective lost. Stop the payload.
Hey, blue team over there. Hey, blue team. I don't have nade anymore, so it's safe to push us. We have less defenses than we did before. Like, that's what you're doing. You're screaming to the other team that you have less tools than you did before, and you didn't get anything out of it. You can heal this Genji. This Genji is about to step behind cover. You can miss 2 shots on this Genji before you hit a shot on him and heal him. Like, It doesn't matter. You could also ignore this Genji and heal your Ashe who's in more danger. Should your Ashe be in more danger? Should your Ashe be here? No. But you can ignore your Genji and heal your Ashe. But there's not a great reason to use your nade here. You wanted your nade, if anything, like, you don't even want to purple these guys to stop them right now. You don't want a nade to heal your team, though if you got both of them with the same nade, I'd object less. You want to have your nade as a deterrent, as something that makes them think a little more twice about, well, they've still got defenses. If we push them, we're going to get purpled and they're going to get healed, etc. Because you need to surrender space right now. And you don't want them just feeling like they can run at you to deal with it. If he had hair, I'd pay attention, but he's a nerd. Okay. Don't get staggered. Don't do it. Okay. Not the best movement in the world. No! Sure.
You're covered.
Swap to Rhine. Zarya's fine. Swap to Rhine. There's not a reason to believe that that's going to work.
You're covered.
So, like, I don't mind the first heal on Zarya, but after that, after the first heal on Zarya, Mercy is on Zarya, and Zarya has cover, whereas your Reinhardt is playing a corner, but is much more in the open and vulnerable than your Zarya. Healing your Zarya just gets your Zarya to go join your Reinhardt faster, whereas supporting your Reinhardt actually helps him more. You have to balance. It's not how weak people are, what their health is. It's not I started healing a target, so I have to heal them to full. It's you heal people based on the relative danger that they're in. Really, you heal people based on your ability, the ability for your heals to make a difference to the specific situation they're in, but that's more complicated. So if you think of a more basic level of it, as you heal people based on the relative danger they're in, that's why we wanted to heal the Ashe, not the Genji earlier, you'd right now be healing the Reinhardt. There's not a good reason to believe that that shield's going to come down. Like, this Reinhardt would be foolish to Fire Strike right now. Doesn't make sense for him to Earth Shatter right now. This isn't really the play. If your Reinhardt was here and was stepping forward, you might expect that this Reinhardt was going to drop his shield and swing. That would be a predictable outcome. If your Reinhardt was, calling that he was pinning or something like that, or calling that he was going to force the corner around, maybe you'd go for this nade. But for your nades and your sleeps against opposing Reinhardts, it's right as the Reinhardts get close enough for their swings to hit that you're looking to do it. That's really when you're expecting to get value. Sure. Okay. Barely. I think you're trying to get it over the shield there. And, like, you're not really that interested in getting it over the shield unless you have specific tricks in mind. Like, yes, you can hit this and kind of go, oh, maybe I'm going to splash, or hit this and sort of go, hey, I'm going to splash. But you're really trying to actually throw it over the shield, to arc over the shield, unless you have a little bit of high ground to make that significantly easier. Like, the arc that you have to throw to get it over the shield is going to make it hard to get people behind him. Yeah. There's a sleep, right? You don't have it. Okay.
I have your back.
Where's your cover? Where's your cover? Drift left, drift left, drift left, drift left. Zarya looks okay to me. You can heal her. You can absolutely heal her. I recommend healing her with shots. I recommend using your left click to heal her. That'd be great. No one's pushing her right now. So the only thing that your nade is doing is it's causing you and Mercy to heal her faster. Are you going to get enough out of that to justify it? Are you going to be like, it's okay to not have my nade when I also don't have my sleep? Again, there's not so much a flanker on the enemy team, so that's not what we're worried about. But, like, does this really make sense to go, we want to use our nade to heal Zarya a little bit faster? I don't think so. Are you going to take good advantage of this by getting offensive shots off? By catching up on someone else?
Heal up.
Yeah, that doesn't look worth it to me.
You're powered up. Get in there.
And your Reinhardt's backing out. So here you are.
I've seen.
We're good with this. I'm not good with that.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Were you maybe trying to nano your Zarya? Because your Reinhardt's backing up. And your Reinhardt was almost in danger of getting pulled back even further by a halt, which would have kept him out of this fight even longer. We don't want to nano our Reinhardt that's backing up. We want to nano our Reinhardt that's already in. We want to nano our Reinhardt when the Orisa is walking into our Reinhardt's range and is, just about or in swing range. Now, we nano him, and it takes him an instant to realize he's nanoed. He starts walking forward. The enemy team had the option of backing up, of kiting this nano. Okay, there's a fire strike. And here's a bubbled swing. The entire nano, your Reinhardt got a fire strike and one bubbled swing off. Yeah, he was a distraction. Yeah, he soaked some damage, more than he would have been able to otherwise without being in threat of going down. But this is what happens when you don't nano. When you don't nano someone who is themselves going in to take the fight. I noticed you nanoed the Genji earlier to make him blade, and I didn't comment on it because, yes, I think you were correct in judging that, hey, even though we just grabbed, I need us to use nanoblade to make sure we win this fight, and I didn't have an issue with it because you were effectively controlling that, demanding it. But the general rule for nano is you do not nano to get other people to do things. You don't nano your Rein to tell him to go in. You don't nano your Genji to tell him to blade. You don't nano your Doomfist to tell him to slam. You nano these people as they're already doing their play to enhance their play. So the Genji is pulling out his blade. Well, that's the beginning of the fight. Let's nano it. Your Reinhardt is walking up and is about to swing. He's clearly walking up about to swing, or he's already swinging. Cool, we nano that to enhance it. The Doomfist is flying across the map with a punch that's clearly going to turn into a slam. Cool, you nano it. Like, we nano people. Oh, your Zarya is walking in there, still has personal bubble available. It's just walked through the Orisa shield. Cool, let's nano that. We don't nano people to tell them to go in. We nano them when they're already going in to make the play better. Because otherwise, our nanos get kited, like this nano got kited. That was not enough value out of your nano.
Watching your back. Get me.
Yeah, bad nano.
Help me.
Okay. Temporal, you're very silly. Anna says you're powered up, get in there, so you should nano tell them to get in there. No. We nano the Ultic Mercy. Well, there's an idea. Okay.
Fire at will. I have your back. Enemy engaged.
My servants never die.
Leave.
The battle continues.
Are you just maxing stall time? No. No. You guys aren't really in this fight. You haven't been in this fight for a good 15 seconds, but okay.
My will.
في الامتحان يكرم المرء أو يهان.
I need healing.
My blade is
Get
ready
back
to
in
be
the
unleashed.
Observe the barrier.
Healing enhanced.
Since the last Diva VOD review, I've just made it my life's mission to cancel hog hooks. It's a good way to learn how to do it, yeah.
I need healing.
By the way, how does the time on cart work exactly? Is it better to make it OT because of some benefit? Like at a checkpoint like that? Like would it have been better at this checkpoint to make it overtime before stopping? Not necessarily, because what you run into is respawns start getting longer when you make it overtime. So if you build a long overtime here, but then they win, and you never really had a chance of winning it, you were just delaying it, and they get a long overtime out of it, you'll frequently end up not getting your first fight because instead of having a 10-second spawn, you had a 14-second spawn. because your overtime spawns got longer and longer as overtime went forward, and you were never actually trading fights back reasonably. So then when they win it, they're able to pretty easily get the cart to here before you're able to take a fight. That said, if you don't get to overtime, if you just drain it down to close to overtime and then go, okay, they're going to get it and lose, etc., that can be good. Or if you feel like, no, we have a real chance of winning it, I'm not telling you to go, oh, well, they have 6, we have 5, we better just all wipe now before it hits overtime because otherwise it'll be bad. Like, no, you can try to win that fight. That's fine. Temporal say you think Ada is cute. Say it, you nerd. I mean, I just did, right? I just read it.
Get back in the fight.
Observe the barrier.
Healing enough.
My barrier is destroyed.
Nanoboost is ready to deploy. You're powered up. Get in there.
Why not let him pull out the blade? Why not let him start his... Now you're telling the other team, prepare for blade, and now he's blading. Like, you're increasing their reaction time. You're giving them more time to react. If he starts pulling out the blade and you nano it, okay, cool. When he started pulling out the blade, that was their warning that they had to deal with the blade. And you nano him during his animation that he's not using the nano anyways, except for damage reduction. If you nano him first... They still know the blade is coming, but you've given them an extra second, an extra half second, an extra second and a half to react to the blade, to figure out their countermeasures, to not use a sleep dart that they were about to use on someone else, to adjust their positioning, to save their boops, whatever. Some people wait for nano so they won't use ult if you won't nano them. Then tell them. If you're in voice comms, you literally say, nano trust, all nano, go, things like that. And then actually get the nano off on them. Yeah, that's a plot thing, Temporal. I mean, I hear you. I just don't care. You just respond to it with, all nano trust, or go all nano, I'll get you, something like that. And if they still absolutely won't go, you're right. You're not going to fight over it for 30 seconds or anything like that. You are going to nano them, but you want to try to push for the proper way for a second. You don't realize Genji's won't blade until you nano?
Enemies reviving.
التكرار يعلم الشطار.
I just don't care, jerk. Where's your cover? This isn't where you play. You could play here. You could play here. Why are you playing here? Why? Why? Excuse me? We're nading because we're missing 100 HP that is naturally recovering barrier HP and 60 HP but is being healed by Mercy. Excuse me? Excuse me? You gotta stop it with these out-of-combat nades, man. This is like... This is a great ability that's just being wasted.
It's just a scratch. You'll be
If they'd been
fine.
halted and you'd thrown a nade at the halt, sure. But, like, no. Okay, how could we get around this shield? Well, if we'd positioned here, we could have rotated to here, we could have taken a step forward, and then we'd have a way around the shield. If we're here, that's not so good. But okay. I don't really need you shield breaking. I really don't. Like, Anna's tier list, this is not full never break it, but it's like, hey, healing is pretty good. Damage shots are pretty good. Reload. Shield break. Which really means that you'll never get past reload. You'll never get past reload to get to shield break. So this doesn't actually exist. Like, it's going to be pretty rare that you want to shoot at barriers, and you've done it more than once.
Name. This is going to hurt.
Don't have any cooldowns.
Damage.
Why don't you have any cooldowns? What did we go for?
Name.
There's nothing here. That's a retreating team. There's nothing here. I don't know why you're going for this. They always had cover, so they were never really a great sleep. Like, if they had drifted further out from the cover, again, maybe that makes sense. But they were always playing appropriately with their cover there. So this sleep never really made sense. We're late enough in the match, even if you're not doing ult tracking, that you expect one of these two has their ult. If not, maybe she has her ult. You'd be less interested in saving specifically for her. You'll probably want to sleep this. Like, no. We don't go for this sleep.
Name.
Walked into it. Amazing. Fine. You overthrew, but what that was conceptually was fine.
Taking damage. Fire at will. I need healing.
Sure.
What's your back? Healing in hand.
Every Ryan prays there's no way out of the enemy team because their barrier just disintegrates. And is awesome at shield breaking? Yeah, no.
Cease your resistance.
Fine.
Do something. It's
Sure. Why are we reloading? Boom. Cool.
quiet time.
We have 8 shots left. Do we really think there's nothing to do better than reload right now? Like, you're fine. Do we really think it's better to reload now than to heal this, shoot over Bob at these guys? Like, I feel like reloading isn't the right answer here. Mostly because it's not. Dodging Fire Strike or not dodging Fire Strike, I can shoot at the Reinhardt without hitting Bob, or I can heal my Zarya, which would be even better. Oh, I'm jumping? So I could actually use a jump scope shot to heal Zarya here? Yeah.
I'm on fire!
My son.
She did not have to go down there.
This is going to hurt.
Was she purple?
I'm on
My
fire!
servants.
Okay.
This is going to hurt.
So your follow-up shot is on her. Are we even going to try? We're not even going to try. Your poor Mercy.
30 seconds.
Enemies reviving.
Well, you're eating the Fire Strike. That means you're ready for
Only out of
Masters.
time. You stop them.
Inside joke. Don't worry about it.
You're powered up. Get in there.
I am unstoppable!
Why are you wandering back and forth in the open here? Why are we doing this? Tuck yourself out over here. If you really feel like you want to be over here, so be it. But you were drifting this way, so just tuck yourself out over there, where you have your cover to play with. Oh, you're just in the middle of the open. Please get yourself over here.
This will help. 10 seconds. I
They are
have
running out of time. You must
Name.
hold them back.
Helden sterben nicht. I still have use for you.
Daheit und Mochlem.
I'm into it.
Touchdown. Daheit und Mochlem.
So other than the fact that I desperately like you to have cover, desperately, fine.
Daheit und Mochlem.
Okay. Why? What is the justification for this sleep? Why do you believe this Rhine shield is going to go down? Is this Rhine about to swing at your Rhine? No, the Rhine's too weak to be swinging at your Rhine. There's 2 barriers right up there. There's 2 barriers up there. That Reinhardt is so weak that nothing in the world is going to convince him to put his shield down. Is someone going to walk through the Reinhardt and get slapped? Like, no. No. Okay, Doomfist is right. Now Zarya.
But
Stay on Zarya. I don't know why this is going left. Yeah, that was aimed wrong. Cap Rhine off. That's fine. You can open the angle a little bit further. Like, you can go, oh, I want to open this angle on this side now to see if I have a little more reach to get Doomfist, etc. But that's okay. 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 So, there's a lot of places we could go with you. The first thing we're going to get on is we are going to get on you do need to position better. You need to not be willing to stand in the middle here. Like, this can't happen. Get yourself over to here. Get yourself over to here like you eventually did. Much, much sooner. Use the cart if they're further back. Position here, not here. Position here, not here. Position here, not here. Or excuse me, not here. Like, we do have to upgrade your positioning. That is a thing that has to happen. You were way too comfortable sitting here, for example, when the fight was happening up there, rather than tucking yourself over to here, or even better, rotating yourself up to here, but you didn't really have time for that. So, like, you're way too comfortable in the middle, not really knowing what your cover was. You started well. You started well on defense here. On offense, less so. But you started well on defense here with this is my spot. You dropped to here. You clearly had an idea for cover, but then you were, like, willing to wander out to here. Why are you out here rather than back here? Remember how I'm talking about, or maybe you won't, but when you rewatch this, you'll see how I talked about how hogs, you were sending a lot of sleep darts at the hog when he was in places like this, that he was, of course, effortlessly dodging because he went, yeah, no. And he's got cover. Yeah, no. And he's got cover. And I told you I don't really want you shooting a hog when he's shooting anyone really when when they're tight on their cover like this, because they're just going to break it. If he comes out here to use his hook, great, you can get it. If he comes out here to take right clicks and makes a mistake, great. If he even stands here and hooks, you can do it because he's rooting himself with his hook. But I don't want you to just generically shoot at him when he's here, because he's going to be able to consistently dodge it. And if he doesn't, well, that's a pretty moderate-sized misplay on his part. So with that in mind, the same thing applies to you. If you're here, sure, you can get one shot by Hanzo. But if you get, say, headshot by McCree, you can close the angle before we can follow up and finish you. If someone starts paying attention to you and misses a shot, you can close the angle, wait for a second, 2 seconds, and then peek and contribute again. Like, we like our cover a lot, and you spend way too long outside of cover away from it. And, outside of cover doesn't mean, this is cover. I don't care if you're not actually behind it. You can tuck on it quick. I do care if you're here. That's going to be the biggest thing that we're going to talk about. The problem is after that, there's lots of places that we can improve your gameplay, but there's not a glaring hole the same way that there is with the cover. And even the cover isn't as bad as some of the stuff we've seen. So instead of you having like, yes, you have this huge hole in your gameplay, and then you have a few smaller ones like this, where it's like, this is the thing to fix. Cover's closest to this for you, but you're actually suffering right now from your gameplay is like lots of medium, small sized holes. We're like, hey, your nano timing's wrong. Your nade, you're too willing to use to heal friendlies. Your sleep in terms of how you're predicting where targets doesn't really make sense. You have a reload issue. You're spending ammo breaking barriers rather than taking offensive shots around it. You're like, there's unfortunately we're in a place where we're going to make you better. Don't get me wrong. We're going to look at this. We're going to give you 2 to 3 specific things to work on, and the first of those is being more conscious of working around the cover. But after that one, your returns on some of these things, on improving on them, is going to be somewhat minor, because it's not like, oh my god, your reloads are just terrible, or oh my god, your nanos are just terrible. You're in a place where these are like, this is kind of waffly, etc. So you're actually going to have to improve moderately on a fair number of these things. Okay, so what we're going to do here is first I want you to get more consistent about, hey, your cover. I want you to get more consistent about that. I want you to, like, not every 3 seconds, but I want you to pretty much always get to a point where you're like, wait, I'm most comfortable when there's some level of cover on my screen. And high ground counts as cover. There's some level of cover on my screen. I don't want to stand here. I want to stand here. This is more comfortable. If there's not cover on my screen, it's because I'm rotating up to the next piece of cover. I want that to be automatic. The second thing I'm going to get to is I do want you to fix these nades. You're too willing to use these nades just to heal people who aren't really in danger. Like, oh, your Zarya is back here behind cover. Or, excuse me, your Zarya is back here behind cover. She's changed the angle. She's closed the angle on the other team. Well, let me nade her to heal her up real quick. Oh, your Zarya is behind cover. Let me nade her to heal her up real quick. Oh, your Genji is safe up here. Or, oh, your Genji is safe here. Let me nade him to heal him up. Let me nade to heal my Genji and my Zarya. No, no. Your nade can be a healing tool. Don't get me wrong, your nade can be a healing tool, but how we want you to think of your nade is like, hey, this is good for getting purples. This is good for getting self heals. And this is like good for its plus healing effect is mostly good for when your tanks are actually brawling. Like there's too much incoming damage. So like it's a situation where your Reinhardt or your Zarya is fighting another Reinhardt, Zarya, Orisa, whatever. They're brawling, they're taking damage, they're doing damage, whatever. You tried to get a purple at the same time, but you got the plus healing, and that increased healing actually allows them to keep swinging. Like, you're spending the increased healing they received on continuing to pump healing darts into them, and that plus 50% healing that they're receiving is allowing them to brawl through amounts of damage that would normally take them down. It's very rare that, oh, I naded them as a heal, or oh, I naded them so I could heal them faster is worth it. If I naded them so I could heal them faster, you better go find some good offensive shots over here to be like, yep, I healed this person from 1 HP or 30 HP up to 500 HP, and I did it in less shots, and because I did it in less shots, I get 2 extra offensive shots. I get 3 extra offensive shots, and I'm going to get value out of these. This should be a pretty rare thing. The other situation, it can be, hey, I'm throwing an aid for a group heal type thing. Like, okay, this is a group heal. That can make sense, where you're going, hey, this is a group heal where it's actually saving me a fair amount of time catching up on the team when the team is in some level of danger, not when the team is just chilling behind cover. It's saving me a fair amount of time healing them up because it's healing 3 people, 4 people, something along those lines. Or it's healing multiple people and it's giving me a heal amp on someone that would take me a while to heal. So I'm actually saving enough time, so instead of giving 2 to 3 extra shots, maybe I get 4 or 5 extra offensive shots, like this sort of thing. Okay, that can make sense. Or we could get into, hey, I'm using the nade to heal someone because I'm out of ammo, and maybe I'm doing a reload cancel tech, efficiency gain, whatever. I don't actually care about these things here. What I do care is that you go, hey, I'm not going to nade people to heal them when they're safe, which is something that you're doing too much of. Like, there's very slight exceptions that you can make, but I want you to stop nading people that are behind cover. Like, as a, oh, I'm worried I'm going to miss my next shot. Like, in general, we could prioritize your healing better to be, hey, the heals go towards the person who is in more danger. Not actually, I keep healing my target full. Not actually, I heal the person who's at the lowest health. No, you heal the person who's in the most danger. That's more generally how you're going to want to think about this. But I'm going to focus this on nades here because that's a small concept. It's easier to digest for you. And we saw enough of these that were like, oh, that's a problem. So these nades are not to be used to heal people who have gotten themselves behind cover. That's not what they're for, except yourself. You can self-heal yourself behind cover, of course. That I'm going to work with. Okay. Third thing is we are going to get into your sleep darts here. I talked about this a lot in the first half. I think you weren't here for this, but you need to understand, you need to be thinking about where someone's going to go when you're using the sleep dart on them. It is a projectile, and you do have to treat it like the projectile that it is. And because it's a projectile on a cooldown, you don't want to sleep door frames. You don't want to sleep the middle of this door. The target is never going to be here. You want to sleep here because the target is basically always going to have to retreat this way, which means you'd want to catch the edge of them here if you were trying to catch them. That's what you do. But you're also thinking about when are they going to give you opportunities. Oh, they rooted themselves with a hook. This is the time to go for a sleep. Oh, they're using breather. They're almost certainly going to use breather and start running away towards cover. So I can predict where that is, and I can hit that with the sleep dart. Oh, the Reinhardt is just getting into range of my Reinhardt. He's going to swing. I have a sleep for it. Like if you focus on building out your tank sleeps and think about when are tanks, not Orisa, going to be vulnerable to sleeps, that can work pretty well for you. That can train you on how to use sleeps on everyone. And we could go through the whole tank cast if we wanted. Like we could go through Zarya and say, okay, the time that you're going to sleep her is you're going to go, okay, once she's going to come in, she's going to put pressure on your team, and once she starts to take damage, she's going to bubble, and then you're going to sleep her as she's retreating as the bubble is faded type thing. Like you could learn this for all of them, but usually what you're going to do is you're going to go, hey, how do I get these sleeps on these Roadhogs, these Reinhardts, these Winstons, these Hammonds, etc. Train it specifically on, and in this match we talked about Reinhardt and Roadhog, and work on that from a standpoint of, oh, I understand how I'm sleeping, where they're going. I understand how to think about what they're going to do. I'm not just willy-nilly throwing sleep in there. I'm thinking about where they're going to go in some way or when they're going to be vulnerable to sleep or vulnerable to nade. Reinhardt is going to be vulnerable to nade at basically the same time. When he first closes in on someone, he's going to go for that sleep, etc. Now, there's other ways to get sleeps and nades on them. They have to do with taking angles. We could certainly get into that more, but at this moment in time, I'm more interested in your timing. So on this, we've covered 3 things for you. There's certainly more things we could get into. It's hard for me to not talk about some of your reload stuff, but it's going to be play tighter on that cover, basically always, except when you're rotating to new cover. Understand that your nades are not I'm healing people when they're behind cover, healing people when they're not in danger resource. They're too valuable for that. And think more about your sleep darts. And I would start by narrowing in on thinking about when are tanks going to be vulnerable to sleep darts. I would start like that. Yeah. Okay. If you or anyone else has questions, go ahead and throw them up in chat now. If you have questions about, for example, wait, what do the sleep opportunities look like on other tanks? Or wait, no, I want to specifically know what sleep opportunities look like on hit scan or flankers or something like that. You can let me know. I just don't want to overwhelm you because there's a lot in this VOD. Words. Right. If you have questions, throw them up in chat. If people are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below. See what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all of that good stuff. And let's see what people had to say here. Adam Nicholas says, Temporal sucks, Temporal stop talking, nobody cares, just sit in silence, cry, thinking about your loss. Well, I mean, yeah, if you think about your loss, that's good. If you think about your loss and what caused it and what you could have done differently, that's a good way to improve. Temporal didn't legit RC make you sell your PC and then you started crying and you flooded an aquarium. And all the fish ran away back into the ocean. So I freed the fish. I'm an extreme environmentalist because I freed the fish from an aquarium. Is that what you're saying, Adam? Huh. Definitely going to keep in my mind your advice. Excellent, War Tiger. Excellent. It's a lot of tears. Okay. Okay. Was just throwing away everything you had. That was terrible. You still have your life, War Tiger. Okay. That's going to do it. We'll go ahead and call it there. Oh, I don't think I have any questions for now, but really appreciate your time. Thanks for the review. No problem, War Tiger. It sounds like you got some value out of it. I definitely recommend going back and watching the first half there because we did probably talk about your sleep dart most in that. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Temporal out. And the next one will not be right now. I do have other stuff to go do, Overwatch related, but not that'll be on stream. So I will see you guys later. Thanks.